What's up and welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct as usual from the Stars Studio V here at the Wanatama Shopping Centre in PJ. I'm Nelson, and joining me today, the usual Football Everyday guys, Shebby and Zack. Good to have you back in the show.
Morning, mate.
It's another
Likewise,
week.
Nelson,
likewise. How a week flies. Yeah, plenty to look forward to in today's show because as usual with all the football chat, right? Special guest Anand, who's a football writer with MalaysianInsider.com, will be coming in to delve into the topic of online football betting. And whether football gambling should be legalized here in Malaysia. Also, the four finalists for the Star Tiger FC Gunning for Glory contest have been picked, and they are Arvin Raja Guna Raja, Melissa Koo Kim Hyok, Leong Chi Man, and Sean Ling Shi Shun. Congratulations to all of you, as you're now in the running, right, for two chances to catch Arsenal versus Chelsea live in the UK on May 9th, courtesy of Tiger FC, of course. And all four of you will be competing in the grand finale happening next Thursday right here at Studio V. The finale challenge is, of course, a FIFA 2009 face-off on the PS3. So that should be pretty exciting, right, guys? But time to get into the football chat, where we have to start, as much as I don't like it, with Liverpool. Shebby, 13 goals in 3 games against Real Madrid, Man United and Aston Villa. I mean, can the Reds go all the way?
Definitely. I think they have found the rhythm, which is something very important, a rhythm that comes only with players playing together over a period of time, meaning less rotations. You make your changes because of injuries or the suspensions, but otherwise you don't change the core of the team. And in the last 3 games, you will see there were minimal changes, and that is why Liverpool have been progressing, in their form from game to game.
Right, but so you can see them overtaking United?
Definitely, Nelson. I know you're not going to like me for saying this, but I think, yes, Liverpool have got the momentum. They are playing well as a team, and the individuals are shining, as opposed to Man United, who were playing well as a team, but individuals were not shining. I talk about Ronaldo, who's had a poor season by his own standards, Rooney, Carlos Tevez, Dimitar Berbatov, for example. So I think, Man United's blip is coming at the wrong time, and that is why I think Liverpool will win the title.
Since their mini slump a couple of months ago, when they allowed United to overtake them at the top, right? What do you think Benitez has done right?
Well, Benitez hardly does anything right, Nelson. He's got a great squad of players. What he does right is when he doesn't interfere. He doesn't interfere with team selection. He doesn't, pick players based on what the doctor says. He picks players who have balance in the team and allowing or build the platform for certain individuals to shine. So that is where I think Steven Gerrard comes into his own. If he hasn't got to worry about any defensive duties, just go out there and just run, in support of Torres or run beyond Torres. So the tactics are right.
Yeah, Zack, you tend to agree with Shebby, or can you see Liverpool slipping up
you can't
at some
deny
point?
That Liverpool are in great form at the moment. I do believe, like what Shebby says, they've got the rhythm, but I still have this feeling that United will resurrect themselves, so to speak, and do what needs to be done. They've still got a cushion, albeit
I know
just
that,
a game in hand.
but I look at the team selection in the last game. Giggs and Scholes starting together. Together, never. I've been dead against it the whole season. It's been proven. It's either or bring them on later.
Well, no one's a faster learner than Sir Alex.
There's no exactly. But why is Sir Alex Ferguson, picking his teams based on emotions now? So I think that is something which is quite strange coming from Sir Alex Ferguson. There was not even a single ounce of creativity in that team.
Right.
Michael Carrick can play 50% of what he's capable of. He will still come up with the 1 or 2 defense splitting passes. So I don't know why Sir Alex Ferguson is spending too much time thinking about his team.
Well, it certainly has made the run-in very interesting, and for neutrals like myself, it's great.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, Shebby. I think if you look at the fixtures Liverpool and United have left, I think Liverpool have got the easier
Easier
fixtures,
Fulham
easier encounters.
Fulham was an easy game on paper,
But this is where the problem has been for Liverpool in the first half of the season. When they up against the likes of Blackburn, Hull, Stoke City, that was where they dropped points, unnecessary points. So in as much as, on paper these games should be easier, but Liverpool know what these teams can do. They can spring a surprise. So I think, I wouldn't say that Liverpool have got the easier fixtures.
Well, I always believe in Liverpool's propensity to shoot themselves in the foot, so I'm kind of.
I believe that too.
I'm kind of going to bank on that.
You wouldn't, by any strange reason, support Everton, would you?
Alright, great stuff, guys. But we've got to take a little break right here on Football Everyday. But we'll be right back before you know it. So keep it locked on. Welcome back to Football Everyday here in the second segment of the show. And as mentioned earlier, we are now joined by a special guest today, Anand, who is from the MalaysianInsider.com. He's a football writer with MalaysianInsider.com. Thanks for joining us, Anand.
Thank you.
I think he's also an Arsenal fan by the shirt.
For sure.
Do you think?
But I think, yeah. So Anand is here, because we're going to take a short little break from the generic football chat, right, and go into what Anand is doing and whether football betting should kind of be legalized here in Malaysia. But before that, I believe we've got an interesting email that came in.
Yeah.
And I think Zack's going to read it out.
This is from Mr. Kenny Ko, and just to paraphrase, he says, your so-called panel experts have only made 30 predictions recently and got just one right. That's an utterly dismal 3.3%, is it not? My 83 mother can probably make a more credible job of it.
I think he might be talking about a rival paper.
Yes.
Possibly. No, I have a serious feeling we got it wrong, because I got the Liverpool Man United score correct.
Yeah. Well, I would just say this, Kenny, I mean...
Nobody did.
Yeah, score predictions are a tricky thing, and,
And Kenny, I have got to quote the great Tan Sri Professor Koo Kay Kim. If you don't know him, you can Google his name. He said, only astrologers make predictions. Pundits make only speculate. So
well, there you go. And we would love to have your 83 mother on our show if she's bang on.
Oh yeah, she could come for the grand finale. Anyway,
thanks for writing to us.
I think Kenny's a gambling man, which ties very nicely.
Exactly.
With the dawn of online gambling.
No, I'm not the dawn. I know
the
what
police are outside, Anand.
Yeah, right.
Let's start by telling us a little bit more what you do, Anand.
No, basically I've worked in consulting on marketing for football gaming companies from UK and also from Australia, and marketing within the region and also outside the region into China, of course. Yeah.
And what does your average day kind of entail? Sorry, chefs, I'm just intrigued.
But marketing basically involves talking to publications and understanding what the punters out there want, and what kind of football matches and what kind of handicaps available for different matches. But it's a whole shebang of things. It's just hard to put into one description basically now. Okay. But I also write on that and give what you guys are talking about, what Kenny was asking for.
That's why we get so highly paid.
Yeah, tipping is very important.
Anand, on any given week, right? Yeah. How much money actually changes hands online?
Online,
I mean, just ballpark
overall
figure.
Online, there is a huge market. I would say in a one given weekend, it could easily be $100 million US.
Wow. Are we talking about a certain region, or are we talking
within Asia alone?
Within Asia alone.
Within Asia alone.
100 million.
Asia's always been a hotbed for football gambling.
A lot of this money, basically a lot of this money is basically trading and exchanging hands, hedging back and forth.
Right, but Shebby, I just got to ask you this. I've been very, very curious, since I've seen you on TV. I mean, as a football pundit, right, do you or any of your other colleagues back in Singapore check out the odds or the handicaps before predicting a match? I mean, how much influence does gambling have on football?
Well, personally, I can only speak for myself. It was not until I met Anand that I began to understand the handicaps. Right. I've never been a betting man. I don't even play cards. Right. So it is difficult. I mean, you can. I don't spend any time, looking at websites to see what is the handicap and all, because I like to think football is a beautiful game. Because it is so unpredictable, is what makes it the beautiful game. Right. And for me, the day I get 10 out of 10 predictions on the English Premier League correct in a week, I think will be the day I'll call it quits, because it has become too predictable. Because it becomes too predictable. So and as far as I'm concerned, no.
Right. But I mean, speaking of that, so do you think online gambling or football betting in general should be legalized here in Malaysia?
I think we can talk about what football can make out of this gambling. I mean, you look at Singapore in the S League. One of the major sponsors is Singapore Pools, which is legalized betting. Provided that the money or a huge slice of it is put back into football, I think it could be beneficial, because you look around now at the state of Malaysian football, and there's not too many avenues which can provide the money now to help build football. So I think we could recycle that money to help football.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It could help grassroots football. You can encourage clubs to have academies. Why not? It's a $1 million industry, so why not exploit
exactly,
it?
because we are losing. We are losing all the money to foreign leagues. So what do we do with our own local league in Malaysia?
Got to cut you off there, Shebby. We'll be right back. Yeah, we'll continue to chat on football betting and legalized football betting here, right here on Football Every Day. We'll be back, but we're gonna take a short break, so keep it here on Football Every Day.
They flew by.
And you're back with us here on the third and final segment of Football Every Day. Just before the break, we were talking, of course, about legalizing football betting here in Malaysia. I mean, personally, I think it should be legalized one way or another, because, look, even if it's not legal, I know plenty of people out there who are currently involved in football gambling. Second thing, like what Shebby said, I mean, Singapore, look, I think if you were to legalize it, right, you can turn it into a profit-making, a money-making industry for the country.
It could help football, but I think the authorities will have to give that a serious thought. The other thing is, what I don't like about this is that you are watching a game, and it's in the back of your mind that the taxi driver said that the handicap is so and so and so and so is going to win, because there's always an element of fakes. Now that disappoints me. I mean, that for me, I'm just a student of the game. I love football so much, and but Anand, how much of these handicaps do actually affect
we've heard about consortiums conspiring to turn off floodlights during crucial games.
But I mean, because
does that really happen?
Well, that has really happened, because it did, and people got caught, and a Malaysian involved at that. Right. But the truth of the matter now, because the way the Asian market is, a game has to complete, so there's all this floodlight nonsense does not happen anymore. So, but how they influence the game could be through the referees. I mean, having spoken to some local bookies before, and they have told me that this match will have so many yellow cards, or one person will get sent off. Right. There are referees which are the easiest access towards fixing matches. I'll give you a clear example. Sometimes, for example, the Arsenal vs Manchester United match earlier this season, there are a lot of rough tackles and fouls which could have been easily given yellow cards. Right. But end of the day, the total yellow card count was like 3 across both teams. Right. Whereas the Arsenal-Liverpool match was light tackles were given yellow card by the same referee, mind you. Right. So it gives you an idea that the market would influence what is what you call over/under of the yellow card level. Right.
Could it not just be the fact that some of these referees are completely inept? I mean, look at Mark Clattenburg, right? I mean, for 2 years ago when he refereed the Merseyside derby, I mean, a blue supporter like myself could easily call bias, because some of his decisions were totally obscure and very strange. But over time, you come to realize, he's just inept. He's not being bought. He's just not very good at his job.
It's so easy to hide. Yeah. It's so easy to hide.
I mean, I've got to ask you, in the overall picture, the minute United lost to Liverpool, right? Yeah. Lots of people were saying, come on, it was fixed, because if United had won, they're going to be like 13 points, no one will watch it. And you know what I mean? People will stop, the bookies will stop making money and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, Nels, you made a point there. I mean, there's always this element of conspiracy, but watching the game, if you actually watch the game, and then you would have realized that Man United were poor. I mean, Man United was so poor on that day, they were just off colour, off form. So, if you don't watch the game, you just look at the scoreline and you think, kelong. You know,
Yeah,
this is a
You know, it's
favorite
easy-
word in
yeah.
Singapore.
Yeah,
kelong.
kelong.
You
Yeah.
know, kelong. You know, so
Guys,
but
it's
they
easy to
kind of-
find a conspiracy if you look hard enough.
Yeah,
all the
but
time.
Liverpool
Yeah.
took their chances,
Yeah.
and so that's why the score was that. You know, the chip and all the long,
Exactly.
everything, the penalty free kick.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get back into the football chat. Speaking about Liverpool, Shebby, I mean United losing at Fulham.
I mean, I touched on team selection.
Right.
I
Stop
thought, you
laughing,
know,
Anand.
it was a wrong team to put out. And I think, you know, what was their strength, the goalkeeper and the defenders, you know, even Patrice Evra now you notice in the last 2-3 games has been off colour.
Yeah.
So suddenly, you know, the back four is not performing as a unit, they're not performing as
You
individuals.
know what, chaps? I just think
And
they
it happens, you know, it's got nothing to do with Anand's online betting.
Yeah. I think
You know,
they started to believe their press. I think they got into the comfort zone a bit too
Oh, yeah.
early.
Oh, yeah.
Things, you know, they've been on cruise control, Shep.
Honestly-
Cruising to their third.
No, but to be
title.
fair, they were not real. I mean, they've been winning games 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 repeatedly over the months of December, January, February. And there's not like against an Everton. I mean, against Everton they did 1-0, but against Wigan, Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Sunderland.
Yeah.
So you know that they're weak. They're just lucky in getting a
Of
goal.
course, no one
odd
knows
goal.
more about 1-0 than
Yeah, that Arsenal fan. Yeah.
But Shebby is actually the happiest man, right? Because I mean, your Spurs beat Chelsea. Very quick word, Shebby.
Oh
on
yeah,
Chelsea.
we outplayed them. Let's be very honest
Right.
about it. I thought Lennon, Palacios, Genius,
Modric.
and Modric. I thought, you know,
Yeah.
on the night as a foursome, one of the best midfield performances I've seen this season.
Right, I mean, you can understand why he didn't get, I mean, is disappointed because I mean, United
They
lost.
blew a massive
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, they,
I
have,
mean,
they have blown a chance because I always, you know, when we used to discuss Chelsea, I thought they're going to get found out. They're going to get found out,
Yeah,
and they have been. And I think their poor form will continue.
And just
All
before
right.
we close, I'd just like to
Yeah.
quickly, Anand, since we got you here, Mr. Arshavin,
Yeah.
you must be very happy.
Oh, very excited. Arshavin is like a reincarnation of Bergkamp in a smaller package. Honestly, he just scores very well, does depth, you know,
Touches,
subtle passes
yeah.
and all that. Excellent player.
Happy with that sign.
right.
Very excellent.
It's about time he arrived on the long protracted
Great,
transfer.
great stuff, guy. Anand.
Okay.
My
So
pleasure.
sorry to cut you off there, but
no
thanks
problem.
a lot
Cheers,
for
man.
joining
My
us on the
pleasure.
show.
Thank you so much.
Shebby, Zack, pleasure as usual. But that's all the time we have on today's edition of Football Everyday. Till we see you next Thursday, it's bye from us here at Football Everyday.
Thank you.
I think we should.
nice
I think we should make this a. half
That's
an
why I
hour
said,
show.
right? It should.